The 7th place squad in Australia's 10-team National Basketball League, the Adelaide 36ers, are on fire lately. The 36ers entered their NBL versus NBA matchup against the Suns as underdogs, but Adelaide shocked everyone, handing Phoenix a 134-124 loss at Footprint Center. So in today's video, let's see how the team achieved their stunning victory and made their mark during a historic NBA preseason voyage. Firstly, how the NBL's Adelaide 36ers made their mark during a historic NBA preseason voyage. The 7th place squad in Australia's 10-team National Basketball League last season, the Adelaide 36ers, boarded a 6 a.m. commercial flight on September 28 when a few players sat in business class and the rest of the roster and staff squeezed into economy. The team made connections in Sydney and then Los Angeles before finally landing in Phoenix 19 hours later, right around lunchtime the same day, as odd as it sounds. They grabbed a quick bite and then headed straight for the Arizona State campus for practice, preparing for their 3-game American visit. And what they hope is that this will be the franchise's first winning season since 2017-18, an NBL campaign that the 36ers will start a little bit later than their rivals due to their preseason dates against NBA foes. Shooting guard Craig Randall said that they understand the job they were trying to get done. Randall received more publicity during this trip than he did all last season, while averaging 26.7 points per game for the G League's Long Island Nets. And he added that, honestly, it wasn't even about winning these NBA games, but about preparing for the NBL season. Mitch McCarron, the point guard and team captain, who was 0-4 in preseason games against NBA teams with Melbourne United, added that they know now that they're probably going to have a little bit of a target on their backs for sure. And that's a huge understatement, considering the 36ers became the first team from down under to defeat an NBA opponent, shocking the Phoenix Suns at the Footprint Center last Sunday. Next, how the NBL's Adelaide 36ers beat the Suns. According to NBL veteran Sunday Deck, got about halfway through the fourth and they were all just kind of pinching themselves. Adelaide's 134-124 win was the first time an NBA team had ever lost in a preseason game against an international squad since EuroLeague powerhouse Real Madrid's 142-137 home win over the Thunder in 2016. In that game, a certain 17-year-old kid named, Luka Doncic contributed 3 points, 4 assists, and 5 boards for Los Blancos. It's also true that the Suns pretty much treated it like a preseason game. They pulled their starters with 4:29 remaining in the third quarter after Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and co. cut a 12-point halftime lead to 3. Despite this, the basketball world buzzed about the 36ers letting it fly from deep, 24 of 43 from a three-point range to beat the team that had the NBA's best record last season. All this just happened a couple of days after the 36ers played their reserves for most of an 86-81 win over Overtime Elite, which is a program that pays six-figure salaries to promising teenagers, including twin lottery prospects Osar and Amen Thompson. Further, what did CJ Burton have to say about his team? 36ers coach CJ Burton said about the Suns that their stars played a little longer than they probably wanted to, just to show if they could punch the team's lights out. His team went toe-to-toe when they needed to for a little bit longer, but the Suns weren't able to shift the needle. He added that he's grateful that they played the way we did just to show how competitive their league was. Burton's a second-generation Australian hoops legend. He's the son of Cal, a New York City-raised American import who averaged a league-high 33.2 points during the NBL's inaugural season in 1979 and who's won 6 titles as a player. The younger Burton was a second-round draft pick in 1997 by the Vancouver Grizzlies after leading Iowa Hills Community College to an NJCAA title and went to training camp with the Blazers, and several years later had a summer league stint with the Cleveland Cavaliers. In his second season as a head coach, Burton's trying to join his father on the short list of men to win NBL titles. One key to that mission was to make the most of the 3 roster spots the NBA allotted to American imports. Plus, what's next for the team? Burton handpicked 3 new players for those spots this offseason. He poached wings Robert Franks and Antonius Cleveland, who both had a bit of NBA experience and starred in the NBL last season from rival teams. The 36ers filled the last spot by signing shooting guard Craig Randall II, who had told ESPN he turned down NBA camp invitations for guaranteed money and the chance to start for Adelaide. Regarding the new imports this season, all of whom have buyout clauses in their contracts if an NBA offer comes, definitely played dividends in Phoenix. Giddey, an Australian who played a season for the 36ers as part of the NBL's Next Star program before entering the NBA draft last year, said that the import trio is going to be a tough one to beat in the NBL, as well as in the NBA, as everyone saw. It would have been understandable if the 36ers were hungover from a wild celebration of their historic win, particularly considering that Scottsdale Club is a favorite detour for NBA players during trips to Phoenix. But this wasn't the case for his team, as Adelaide's players said that they headed back to the hotel after their win over the Suns and talked a bit before going to bed. And now for some other related news. Firstly, LaMelo Ball exits Hornets preseason loss with an ankle sprain. LaMelo Ball, the Charlotte Hornets all-star point guard, sprained his left ankle in the third quarter of a 116-107 preseason loss against the Washington Wizards last Monday night when his foot was stepped on while he was driving to the hoop. The Hornets announced Ball wouldn't be returning to the game, and Ball was driving the left side of the lane when Washington's Anthony Gill inadvertently stepped on his foot, causing the third-year pro's ankle to twist painfully. Ball remained on the floor for several minutes before getting to his feet and walking back to the free throw line. He shot the 2 free throws and then immediately checked out of the game and headed straight to the locker room. Ball's expected to undergo more tests soon. The Hornets coach, Steve Clifford, said that his fingers are crossed that it's nothing serious. Clifford said Ball and center Mason Plumlee, who sprained his left foot in the game and also left early, won't be playing on Wednesday night's preseason game in Philly. Ball's considered the centerpiece of Hornets offense, averaging 20.1 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 7.6 assists per game last season. He had 9 points and 6 rebounds before leaving the game. Charlotte will be opening the regular season next on October 19th at San Antonio. Next, 36ers NBA win proof the gap is closing. There were some people who weren't entirely shocked to see the Adelaide 36ers beat the Phoenix Suns in a preseason matchup on Monday, those who make the decision for NBA teams. And the NBL has pretty much on an upward trajectory for close to the last decade. And while the results of this recent NBA versus NBL preseason game was the main evidence the wider basketball world needed to wake up to it, NBA teams have been well aware of the continued growth for some time. One NBA executive told ESPN after the game that the gap is closing. It's not just talking either. 7 NBA teams were represented in Darwin at the Australian League's annual preseason tournament, the NBL Blitz, which was probably the most difficult major city in Australia to travel to. Adelaide 36ers still managed to come out on top, and their upward trajectory keeps going higher. Lastly, Dennis Schroeder eyes unfinished business back with the Lakers. Dennis Schroeder said he harbored feelings of unfinished business after completing the first practice of his second stint with the Los Angeles Lakers on Monday. While the 29-year-old point guard stated that his goal is to win bigger than LA did during his first year with the franchise, when the Lakers' repeat title bid fell a bit short with a first-round loss to Phoenix, he also addressed a business decision he made during the 2021 season that has been haunting him ever since. Schroeder, who signed a one-year, $2.64 million contract with the Lakers last month, claimed the Lakers never offered him the 4-year, $84 million contract extension that he was eligible to sign that season. It appeared to be an issue of semantics. But now, with all that out of the way, he'll be hoping for a successful season in LA. And that's a wrap for this video. What do you think of the NBL's Adelaide 36ers making their mark during a historic NBA preseason voyage? Let us know in the comments down below. And be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. We'll see you in the next one.